Hello, my name is Susan Davis, and I'm here on behalf of Fine Arts Insurance Consultants. We would like to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time to view our presentation. Our consultants have dealt with fine arts claims for over 30 years now. We primarily handle items involved in personal property and commercial claims. Our intention today is to increase your knowledge of fine arts claims and assist you in your ability to adjust efficiently in the future. Let's begin with fine arts itself. This category includes paintings, prints, sculptures, etc. Next up, we have collectibles, which include comic books, Hollywood memorabilia, sports collectibles, etc. And of course, antiques. These items have to be at least 100 years old in order to be considered antiques. This category includes furniture, ceramics, rugs. In addition, other items that fall under this category are musical instruments, books, toys, and much more. As you will experience out in the field, items that fall under these categories will bring about major dilemmas due to various factors. Remember, when dealing with these types of items, always be cautious. Handling a fine arts claim can be a challenging experience for several reasons. For example, forgeries are a major issue in this field. The more prestige and fame an artist accumulates, the more likely that his or her work will be counterfeited. Therefore, we can say that it's a buyer beware market. Unfortunately, this reality is something that adjusters have to deal with. Another concern that should be considered is the inflated demands often associated with these items. This means that items are often overpriced, but as adjusters, you want to pay only what is due, no more, no less. Finally, another common situation you may encounter with personal property claims are unrealistic appraisal values. Entities that issue appraisals, such as merchants and dealers, have a direct interest in establishing high prices, since doing so is in their best interest. For this reason, it is always wise to get a second opinion from an independent specialist. Let us address a couple of examples that our offices have stumbled upon over the years. Here is a Salvador Dali watercolor painting with dimensions of 30 inches by 32 inches. This particular painting is titled Project for Individual Bullfight. Dali was well known for his extravagant style of surrealism. When we first received this claim, the insured submitted an appraisal that valued this watercolor at $460,000. Although it seemed like a reasonable evaluation at first, an adjuster always needs to verify such high values. With our company's research analysis, the demands were reduced by $340,000. This was achieved by thoroughly investigating the artist's works to get a realistic current market value. Now let's address an example of a forgery. An insured made a claim regarding the disappearance of an alleged genuine Rembrandt oil-on-canvas painting with dimensions of 60 inches by 80 inches that was rolled up underneath the insured's bed. The insured did not possess any documentation, photographs, or pre-loss appraisals. In spite of these obstacles caused by the lack of documentation, we proceeded to conduct research. The insured informed us that the painting depicted a landscape scene. It is known that Rembrandt produced only 7 landscapes during his entire life. We verified that 5 of them were in major museums around the world. The other 2 were painted on wood panels and thus could not be rolled up. Also, they were verified to be in the possession of specific owners. Therefore, by process of elimination, we learned that the insured couldn't have possibly owned a genuine Rembrandt and most likely owned a forgery. Next, we have a case study regarding inflated demand. As we can see from this exhibit, a submitted appraisal demanded $16,500 for a Persian Kashan rug with dimensions of 10 feet by 14 feet. Along with the appraisal, photographs of the rug were submitted. Our offices were not able to physically examine the rug due to the fact that it had been discarded. Here are the photos of the insured's rug. Based upon our research, we found a comparable rug with the very same characteristics available for less than 50% of the original demand. As you can see from these case studies, there can be tremendous gaps between an insured's demands and the recommended current market value. As a result, it is most important to keep the following in mind. Let's begin by discussing the importance of a comprehensive inspection. It is imperative to properly identify the characteristics of items of loss, such as the manufacturer, the country of origin, and the age. This information assists in properly determining true value. Let's look at an example. Exhibit A displays an authentic Athenian black figure water vessel, created circa 6th century BC. Exhibit B is a reproduction, created to pass for the real thing. Forgers recreate the style of the products and use aging techniques to attempt to fool buyers into believing they're the real deal. Through proper testing, however, you can avoid being fooled by forgeries. Trademarks assist in determining the date of production and the manufacturer ID. However, trademarks are often faked, so you must be skeptical of their authenticity as well. Here is a perfect example of misleading trademarks. The trademark on the left, in blue, is a genuine Capodimonte trademark. On the right, in orange, is an imitation trademark. Inexperienced people often believe an item to be genuine once they spot a trademark. As adjusters, however, you cannot make this assumption. Research is necessary to validate the authenticity of any trademark. Our directories of pottery and porcelain trademark IDs of European and domestic trademarks assist us in distinguishing between authentic and fake trademarks. When dealing with fine arts, a quick response is imperative on the part of an adjuster. By responding quickly, the adjuster can minimize losses resulting from further deterioration. Take, for example, art prints that have undergone water damage. If these items are left unattended for an extended period of time, they can potentially stick to the glass framing. This causes irreversible damage that could have been avoided with a rapid response and proper treatment. An honest slip-up in these types of claims can prove to be very costly. For example, on one occasion, an adjuster paid out $39,000 for stolen modern Hummel figurines. The insured did not have any photography of the items of loss depicting the trademarks. The trademarks are crucial in identifying the proper manufacturing period. The trademark can be found on the bottom base of the figurines. Figurines that bear the trademark from early production, as seen in the top row of this exhibit, are high-value items. The rest of the Hummels are fairly inexpensive. By consulting with a specialist, the adjuster could have reduced the payout by around $30,000. After completing a comprehensive inspection, it is wise to employ a professional restorer if needed. Restoration is a smart choice when it comes to preserving a damaged item. A majority of items can be restored, and so restoration is a fiscally sound alternative to totaling an item that cannot be replaced. However, always take into consideration that the restoration cost should not exceed the item's current market value. Now, let's talk about the importance of a detailed inventory list. A detailed inventory list will assist you in organizing the items of loss and identifying them with proper descriptions. Assigning accurate dimensions is important because the size of the item of loss is one characteristic that determines its value. In keeping with the old saying, "A picture is worth 1,000 words," it is important to have accompanying photos for each item described on your inventory list. These photos should be properly matched with their associated descriptions. Ultimately, it is essential that the insured's inventory list be properly organized. You want your list to be simple to comprehend and as detailed as possible. This prevents the people that will be utilizing your list from becoming confused and possibly misplacing items. Our next point of interest involves red flags. Red flags occur in a variety of situations. When you hear the word antique, this should be a red flag to you. People often misinterpret the meaning of antique. According to the U.S. Trade Commission, an item needs to be 100 years old to be properly categorized as an antique. Items claimed to have been purchased in cash should also be looked at with great caution. These purchases often lack documentation to back them up. Lack of purchase documentation detracts credibility from the insured's demand. Items attributed to famous individuals but lack proper provenance should raise your suspicions as well. Such attributions have the tendency to inflate the item's value. Establishing the validity of these claims is difficult without proper documentation. Red flags should never be ignored. Keep in mind that there are many more aside from the ones presented here. Act logically if you believe you found one which we have not touched upon. Moving on to our final recommendation, you should always be sure to arm yourself with knowledge. Expertise provides you with the supporting evidence to establish the current market value, diminished value, and restoration estimates. This comes in the form of research pricing, comparable exhibits, and final reports. The evidence establishes the authority of your adjusting. Should these figures ever come into question, your documented research will be there to confirm the validity of your adjustment. As your career unfolds, be sure to gather proper expertise. Knowledge is power. Be sure to use it whenever possible. We would like to thank you for viewing our presentation today. We hope it was both informative and electrifying. In all seriousness, we hope you picked up some tools that will serve you well in the field. Should you have any questions, feel free to contact us at www.fineartsinsuranceconsultants.com or shoot us an email at info@faic.biz.